Good afternoon, everybody. Big Mike back here with you once again. Welcome back to Big Mike Talks, where today I bring you my predictions for this weekend's NWA Samhain event. This is going to be NWA's Halloween-themed episode, which should be a fun one. Definitely a lot to look forward to, and let's get into this one. So we start out with the pre-show matches, and we have a 6-man tag team match playa as Jordan Clearwater teams with the Country Gentlemen, that's AJ and KC Kazana, to take on Zion and the Outrunners, that's Truth Magnum and Turbo Floyd. This one's a tough one because it's clear they want to do something with Zion, but I'm not sure what yet. But it's also clear that Clearwater and the Kazanas are up to something as well. So I think Clearwater and the Country Gentlemen get the win. Now this next match is a pretty big stipulation for a pre-show match. But it's a loser leaves the NWA as Brady Pierce takes on Rush Friedman, and then you have special guest referee Rolando Friedman. Now, these three were actually a team for a while called the Spectaculars. They have gotten tag title shots, but it hasn't really gotten good for them. And then Brady at the last NWA show, which was 75, turned on Rush and Rolando. So now they're having this match, and whoever loses, gets released from the NWA. I'm thinking one of their contracts is coming up pretty soon, so I'm gonna say one that I think would interest me a little bit more. I think Brady Pierce is gonna get the win. And then maybe I think I could see him joining like the Southern Six or something. Rush, I don't know. He's a talented dude, but I do feel like he's being held down a little bit by Rolando. Or, hey, maybe I'm 100% wrong. They both turn on Rolando and reform their tag team without Rolando, which could be interesting, but I'm going to go for Brady Pierce. Next up is a fatal 4-way to determine a future NWA Women's title shot. You've got Samantha Starr, Missa Kate, Tiffany Nieves, and Celeste. This one is a tough one for me because I definitely like all four of these women, although I haven't seen that much of Nieves and Celeste, so definitely a bit newer to the NWA show. But I think I'm going to go for Missa Kate. I think, obviously, M95 still have that rivalry with Pretty Empowered, so I think that would be an interesting story to continue with Missa Kate going for singles gold. Next up, we got the tag team match playa, and it's for the NWA United States Tag Team Championships. As Daisy Kill and Talos defend against the Immortals, that's JR Kratos and Odinson. And I'll say this, Daisy Kill is definitely talented on the mic, and he's a decent wrestler too. Talos, he's the muscle. They're the Enzo and Cass of the NWA. I'm going to put it like that. And honestly, I don't see their U.S. tag team title reign lasting too much longer, because, let's face it, they're a fill-in for the Country Gentlemen, and I'm not going into that situation. So I think Kratos and Odinson pick up the win and pick up the tag team titles. Now we're moving on to the main show, and it's gonna be a lot. As first off, we got the Devil's dance hardcore war. Basically, it's going to be team versus team. You got, and, winning side, gets the win. Anyway, participants in this team war, you got Judas, Max the Impaler, Alex Misery, who sounds relatively new to me. And then you also got Magic Inc. That's Cody James and Magic Jake DeMoss. And they're taking on Sal the Pal, Gags the Gimp, Koa Laxima, and Magnum Muscle, which is Dak Draper and Mims, who Mims just won the TV title. So this is going to be interesting. Now, stipulation that was revealed for Power last night, and slight spoiler alert, if the team put together by Father James Mitchell, that's Judas, Max, Misery, and Magic Inc., beat Sal and Gags' team, Sal and Gags have to rejoin Judas, Max, and James Mitchell. However, if Gags and Sal's team win, then they're free from that group. So, definitely an interesting stipulation. I am going to say, as much as I've been liking Sal and Gags as baby faces, freed from James Mitchell's influence, I think having them on the inside would be a little bit more entertaining. Like, maybe they're trying to fight them from the inside. You know what I mean? So I think Judas, Max, Misery, and Magic Inc. pick up the win. Now, this next matchup, you have Matt Cardona versus a mystery opponent. For now, don't know who it is, but if I'm going to take a guess, and this is truly a guess, oh man, who could it be? Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say it's going to be Brian Myers. Like, I know they just got back together for Bound for Glory. And actually, Myers was on Power for a little while before Cardona's injury. So I think he comes back to the NWA to have one last matchup with Cardona. Next up, we got a Burning Lake Brawl, which I am not sure what that means. I guess it's some kind of hardcore match for the NWA National Championship. Oh, and the winner of Cardona versus Myers is Cardona, obviously. Anyway, national title on the line. Burning Lake Brawl, which I'm going to guess is some sort of hardcore stipulation. We got Thrillbilly Silas Mason versus Chris Adonis. And, these two faced off before. Mason got picked up the win. I don't think it's going to be any different because I've been liking Silas Mason not only as champ, but as a heel. Yeah, I think it's been very, very good. Next up, we got a tag team match playa as members of the Southern Six, that's Kerry Morton and Alex Taylor, take on Mosh and Thrasher of the Headbangers. Now, if you don't remember them, they were in WWE in the late 90s. They usually wore like kilts and stuff. They were a very rock and roll tag team. And to see them coming in, that's awesome. This is going to be interesting because I am really digging both these teams. But I think the Southern Six are going to pick up a sneaky win, maybe with the help of Silas Mason. Either way, it's definitely going to be interesting. Next up, in a Riddle box match, which I am not sure what that means, we've got Violent J and the Brothers of Funstruction taking on Vampiro and La Rebellion. six guys have been pretty much interfering in each other's business for a while now. And now you got this big stipulation 6-man. And with Violent J wrestling, which I haven't seen that since like TNA maybe? As much as I want to pick La Rebellion, I think the Brothers of Funstruction and Violent J pick up the win here. And then maybe you can continue the feud a little bit after. So, it's going to be interesting. Next up, we got a submission match. No title on the line. As Jax Dane takes on Blake Troop. Obviously, these two were former tag team partners. Now they're on the outs because Jax Dane didn't attack Tim Storm at NWA 75. So it led to this matchup. This is going to be an interesting one. But I think I got Jax Dane picking up the win. He's been doing alright for himself as a babyface. And I think a big win against his former partner would really maybe put him over the edge for something in the future. Next up, we got a tag team match playa, and it's for the NWA Tag Team Championships in a Knights of the Round Table match, where I am not 100% sure of what the stipulation is supposed to mean, but it looks like it's going to be a table match where the winner puts the loser through a table. We got Blunt Force Trauma, that's Damage and Carnage, taking on Mike Knox and Trevor Murdoch. This is going to be an interesting one, because both of these teams, I think, deserve it. Obviously, with Blunt Force Trauma pretty much cheating to get to, but also keeping their tag titles. I think that's going to continue. We're going to see Blunt Force Trauma keep them for now. Next up, we got the NWA Women's Tag Team titles on the line. As Pretty Empowered, that's Ella Envy and Kylie Page, take on Natalia Markova and Taylor Rising. Rising is relatively new to the NWA. She had a really good showing in the number one contenders tag match with Markova. And we actually just had a pretty big reveal that Pretty Empowered let Little Miss Roxy go, so she's not in Pretty Empowered anymore. So we're going to see where that leads. I think maybe Roxy costs Pretty Empowered the tag titles. And honestly, I think I'm going to go with that. So I think Markova and Rising win the tag titles here. Next up, for the Junior Heavyweight title, in a pillar-to-post match, in which I am not sure what that means. I guess it's you have to touch the ring posts to win or whatever, which I hate those stipulations. You got Colby Carino defending against Joe Alonzo. Colby has had a really, really good reign so far, and I'm really not ready to see it end. So I think Colby Carino picks up a win. And, we'll see what happens going forward. Next up, we got a singles match for the NWA Women's title as Kenzie Page takes on Ruthie J. The build of Kenzie Page has been awesome. I did not see her being the one to dethrone Camille. But her reign kind of just got started, and as much as I would like to see a new champ, I think Kenzie Page keeps the title for now. And that leaves us with the NWA World Heavyweight title match in a no-limit match, which I guess means, all weapons are legal. Maybe it's like Falls Count Anywhere, hopefully, because I love those type of matches. As EC3 takes on Tom Latimer. Now, Tom Latimer actually just relinquished his TV title for this shot. There's a stipulation if you win 7 matches in a row and defending the TV title, you can cash it in for a world title shot. So this is Latimer's shot. Now, this is obviously his first shot, and obviously Latimer and EC3 have a pretty good rivalry going for a while. Like, EC3 bringing up their history, that they toured Impact together, and they were really intertwined with each other's stories. So, here's what I think is going to go down. I think eventually it's going to look like Latimer's going to pick up the victory, finally put away EC3. But then I think something's going to happen. I think EC3 is going to bring in maybe 1 or 2 of his Control Your Narrative goons. And ultimately they're going to cost Latimer the title shot, which I think is going to lead to a bigger match down the line. So I say EC3 keeps the title for now, and we'll see something with Latimer somewhere in the future. Now, that is it for me for my predictions. I hope you all enjoyed. Please like the video, comment down below what your predictions are for this show. Now, tomorrow, I am going to be covering Raw, Power, and probably AEW Dynamite. On Thursday, I will be watching and taking notes for Impact and MLW. However, that probably won't be covered until the following week, maybe next Tuesday-ish. We'll see what happens. And then Salway, I'm not going to be watching the live broadcast. Probably end up doing that on Monday, because on Saturday I will be attending Collision. And if you see me out there, come say hi. Don't be a stranger. I'll be the Stone Cold looking MFer. So yeah, until next time, happy wrestling everybody. Peace.